About to lose my
shit. You can't
shit.
say that marriage is a union between one man and one woman.
Until very recently, that's what the vast majority of Americans thought. Now it's considered bigotry.
On any given Tuesday, hearing a sitting Supreme Court Justice utter such diatribe would piss me off. Merely 2 days after, a vile attack on the LGBTQ community cost innocent people their life. This has got me good and pissed.
You can't say that marriage is a union between one man and one woman. Until very recently, that's what the vast majority of Americans thought. Now it's considered bigotry. That this would happen after our decision in Obergefell should not have come as a surprise. Yes, the opinion of the court included words meant to calm the fears of those who cling to traditional views on marriage. But I could see, and so did the other justices in dissent, where the decision would lead. I wrote the following: I assume that those who cling to old beliefs will be able to whisper their thoughts in the recesses of their homes. But if they repeat those views in public, they will risk being labeled as bigots and treated as such by governments, employers, and schools. That is just what is coming to pass. One of the great challenges for the Supreme Court going forward will be to protect freedom of speech.
In case you didn't recognize that person, that's a sitting Supreme Court Justice who made a video trying to convince the American people that the real victims are people who openly want to spread bigotry but are fearful of doing so. Not those who are lambasted daily with medieval tropes regarding pedophilia and grooming of kids, so much so that it emboldens a domestic terrorist to go into a LGBTQ bar and massacre people.
Happening for the last few years, right-wing grifters, including politicians like Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, they've been spewing this vile, hateful rhetoric about LGBTQ people. They've been trafficking in some of the oldest, darkest tropes against our community. They've been accusing us of posing a threat to children simply because we exist. I am angry because I am tired of asking, of begging, of screaming and scratching and clawing for people to just see us as human. See us as your family members, your neighbors, your friends. Please, I am begging you to treat us with a basic level of decency and respect. I'm angry because we deserve to live. Those people deserved to live, George.
No, they're not the real victims. No, it's the people who want to be able to say that traditional marriage is the way everyone should live. Fuck.
You can't say that marriage is a union between one man and one woman. Until very recently, that's what the vast majority of Americans thought.
But the thing is, they don't just want to say that marriage is a traditional union between a man and a woman. They want to govern based on that belief. They want to force that belief onto other people, and that is bigotry. That's denying others the rights and legal privileges and protections that you enjoy. That is 100% bigotry. And to say that the people who want to instill that on other people are the real victims is absolutely absurd.
This is our only safe space here in the Springs. And so for this to get shot up, like, what are we going to do now? Where are we going to go? Yeah, we can rebuild and come together and this, but what about those people that lost their lives for no reason?
And you know what's the most heartbreaking part is the people who are the real victims of this just want to exist. They don't want more, they just want the same privileges that everybody else gets.
I assume that those who cling to old beliefs will be able to whisper their thoughts in the recesses of their homes. But if they repeat those views in public, they will risk being labeled as bigots and treated as such by governments, employers, and schools. That is just what is coming to pass.
Medieval wankers like this, and every single GOP politician that has perpetuated the hate that emboldened that domestic terrorist, there is blood on your hands. And the last thing I'll say on this is every single video that I've seen so far speaking on this issue comes from those within that community, the impacted community. And I say this when I talk about racial issues as well. It should not fall upon the shoulders that are already bearing the problem it should fall upon those that are benefiting from the privileges.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.